Good evening. It is Monday, April 28th, and I'd like to call this regular school board meeting to order. Please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Good evening, board, audience, those watching at home. Moving on to item 2, changes, amendments, additions, or deletions to the agenda. Board, do you have any changes this evening?
No, sir.
Superintendent, do you have any changes this evening? All right, perfect. Then we're good with the agenda moving forward. Approval of the minutes. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
I recommend approval of the minutes from the regular school board meeting, April 14th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Mathias, a second by Mrs. Cunningham. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. We do have representation this evening, recognition of a media specialist by Dr. Tiffany Scott.
Good evening, Superintendent, board members, and honored guests. April is School Library Month, a time when we celebrate the vital role of school libraries and media specialists play in supporting literacy, inquiry, and student achievement. Across our district, these learning hubs are more than just places to check out books. They are dynamic centers for creativity, collaboration, and academic support. Strong libraries are proven to improve student achievement, and we are proud of the incredible work happening in our schools. In our schools, in fact, 6 of our schools have been recognized as Florida Power Library Schools, an honor awarded by the Florida Association of Supervisors of Media and Florida Department of Education to highlight exemplary library programs that make a real difference for our students. Tonight, we are excited to share a short video that will be released tonight upon the conclusion of our meeting here tonight that celebrates the School Library Month and showcases the impact of our school libraries and media teams. It's a tribute to the innovation, passion, and daily dedication to help students thrive. Tonight, I'd like to welcome our Instructional Materials Manager, Ms. Kelly Dodd, who supports these individuals, as well as Ms. Bridget Marshburn, a program specialist who support in this work. If you'd help, please join me in showing a round of applause for our media specialists across Lake County Schools to help inspire students everywhere. At this time, I'd like to invite them forward to be recognized by the board and our guest. Please come forward. Thank you. Once again, I just want to reiterate the impact that these individuals have on literacy and supporting our students in thriving. It goes much more beyond literacy. And I'd also just be remiss if I did not acknowledge the hard work of Ms. Kelly Dodd, our manager, as well as Ms. Bridget Marshburn for making sure that we are giving our very best to our students in this capacity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Scott. And if our media specialists could come up, we'd like to shake your hand and thank you as well. Nice.
Thank you very much. Thanks so much. Thanks for your work. Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You absolutely may.
I just wanted to tell you, ladies, we don't get the opportunity to talk to specific groups of people very often, and I will never forget my very precious now 19-year-old as a kindergartner. I think for the first 2 years, her favorite teacher was the school librarian. So I think you guys should know that you don't have a class of your own. You get the whole school, and the role that you play is so significant in those students' lives. And I know as a teacher, anytime I needed reference materials, anytime I needed a fiction book, that's where I learned about the Sunshine State Readers was from my librarian. And so I don't know. I love librarians. The media specialists have been through quite a bit in the last couple of years. We appreciate your hard work, your dedication, and your perseverance through what we've all kind of gone through with the scrutiny of our library books. And I think that just a love for reading as a passion and passing that on to students and the role that you play is so important. So I know there's only 3 of them, and that message is for everybody here, but thank you for the work that you do to support them as well. And thank you guys for making the trip out here tonight. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Luke. Public input this evening, we do have 2 cards. First one up is Ms. Kathy Smith from the LCEA.
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good.
I just have a couple updates that I wanted to discuss. I don't come up all the time, but it is nice to speak with you guys and let you know what's going on. And of course, I'm sure you're aware that next week is Teacher Appreciation Week, and we're kind of hoping to kind of call it a week of action because we have 2 reasons. One right now, of course, is our PERC election, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but we have our celebration. Which kind of goes along with the PERC election because it is our 50th year of bargaining with Lake County Schools.
Wow, congratulations.
So we are having a celebration at the Venetian on May the 7th. If you would like to join us, you may. It starts at 5 o'clock, and we're going to be doing it's our annual meeting, so we'll have a little bit of meeting, but it's going to be mainly the celebration itself, celebrating advocates for everything we do, and yes, unfortunately, my retirement, but yes, but we celebrate our reps and our advocates that help us do many things throughout the year. And so that is the first thing, and that kind of goes along with the PERC election, which is going on now, because that's why we're having our 50th celebration also, is because it is the bargaining unit, but unfortunately we have to now have an election to prove that we can continue to be the bargaining unit with Lake County Schools due to some new laws from Tallahassee. So instructional staff should have received their ballot by now, either in the mail or at their work site, and they need to also now put a stamp on it because it's not self-addressed, and then it goes on to Tallahassee, and then we have to tally the votes, and then we'll go from there. And so we hope to continue being that our 51st year at that point now. So we hope to continue being the bargaining unit with Lake County Schools, and we'll see what happens, but hopefully it will. But 50 years of not having to do the election, and now all of a sudden we do have to do another election. So it's kind of going backwards, if you ask me. But of course, that's just my opinion, right? But hopefully we can continue. This will be a nice week for everybody, and hopefully everybody will have some nice celebrations at their school and work sites, and we'll continue to work with Lake County Schools. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Next one up is Farmer Banks Helfrich.
Farmer Banks Helfrich, Clay Road District, South Lake County. Farm tip of the day, you can go to any Ace, any Publix, buy raw, in-the-shell peanuts and put them in water for 2 days, then put them into the ground, about 2 inches down, about 2 feet apart, and in 120 to 150 days, you will have peanuts. Yes, you can grow peanuts in Florida. Madam Superintendent, Board Chair, Board, distinguished guests, welcome to April. Welcome to tax month. Taxes have a bad rap. In fact, the one word associated with taxes more than any other word is death. So what exactly do we get with taxes? Many of us here today, in fact, I would venture to say that every single one of us drove here on roads paved and funded by our taxes. Many of us passed some educational learning center, some district school, some charter school, some private school, funded by our taxes. The water fountain out front, which gives potable, drinkable water, it's there because it's funded by our taxes. The air that we're breathing is also funded by our taxes. In fact, in our county, our sheriff, his group, his team of detectives and officers to serve and protect us, funded by our taxes. The chief of fire chief, who is also a county employee, his group of paramedics, firefighters and paramedics are there to make sure that they are at an emergency within 7 minutes, funded by our taxes. In fact, here in this room, recording secretary, our council, in fact, you all, the board, are funded by our taxes. So without taxes, we would not have government. And without government, we would not have liberties. Freedoms are not free, my friend used to tell me all the time, and he's correct. Freedoms are not free, because without government, we have no liberties. Without taxes, we have no government. And without taxes, we have no freedoms. I am Farmer Banks Helfrich. Thank you for allowing me to speak. May you all be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Farmer Banks. All right. Moving on to the attorney's report. Mr. Cole?
Nothing.
Perfect. We also don't have any unfinished business this evening, so moving on to the consent agenda. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Recommend approval of the consent agenda items 8.01 to 10.04.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Mathias, a second by Dr. Luke. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Moving down to item 11 under discussion. Item 11.01, tentative approval of policies. Mr. Cole.
Yes, sir. We have for consideration some policies. So at this time, we'll open the public hearing to consider policies 2421, career and technical education, 2460, exceptional student education, 5410.01, promotion, acceleration, placement, and retention. Does anyone like to speak to any of these policies? Hearing none, the public meeting is closed.
Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
I recommend tentative approval of the policies as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Mathias, a second by Mrs. Cunningham. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. 11.02, public hearing tentative approval. Mr. Cole.
Yes, sir. At this time, we'll open a public hearing for consideration of policies/bylaws 0131, legislative policy making, 0164, notice of meetings, 0165, meetings, 0165.2, regular meeting. This is a rescinding. 0165.3, special and emergency meetings, also rescinded. 0166, exempt meetings, also rescinded. 5780, student parent rights. 9270, home education programs. Would anyone like to speak to these policies or bylaws? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed.
Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Recommend tentative approval of the policies as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Mathias, second by Mr. Dodd. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Superintendent, your report this evening.
Just a few things this evening. First of all, Chairman Brandyberg, we want to congratulate you on earning the Florida School Boards Association Certified Board Member Distinction Award for all of the hard work and training that you have completed. So congratulations to you. It's quite an honor. Also, tomorrow at 1 p.m., we will celebrate the next group of students who have completed the Teaching Academy program at DeVaries High School. And we are excited to be able to recognize them. I know Dr. Luke is probably especially excited to welcome them. Hopefully they're moving on to her as they graduate soon. I also want to congratulate all the participants in our 4th annual Incubator EDU Final Pitch competition that took place 2 weeks ago. It's that Shark Tank style program where students compete and present their innovative business ideas. And some walked away with cash awards, and hopefully they'll be able to reinvest that and begin their own business. So the winning presentations included a team from DeVaries High School. They won first place for their Sip and Stash idea, which is a pill and vitamin holder that attaches to your water bottle, so you never miss your medications. Also, they tied with the team from Mount Dora High, and their presentation of Stylecraft Ideas, which was a personal styling chatbot that lets users take pictures of clothing from their closet and receive suggestions on how to best style those items. Both of those teams won $500. And then the People's Choice Award was from East Ridge High School. Their team presented an idea of a phone case with a built-in GPS tracker, giving users a way to find their phone even when it is not turned on. So, and they won $200. So I want to thank the many mentors and teachers, the judges from our business community that came out and supported these students, as well as those in our Office of College and Career Readiness that sponsors this event every year. And the other sponsors included the Education Foundation, Cherry Lake, Chick-fil-A, and Addition Financial. So special thanks to those. And it is Teacher Appreciation Week coming up next week. We look forward to celebrating and recognizing all of our outstanding teachers all across the county. So that's all I have tonight.
Dr. Luke?
I just have two notes of congratulations or good luck, I guess. We have several baseball and softball teams that are starting postseason runs last week and this week, and so we have many teams that are represented in those different levels of playoffs, and that's exciting. It's an exciting time, so if you're looking for a good game, there's lots going on that you can come to. And then the second thing I was going to just bring to everybody's attention, super fun, next week is Lake Sumter State College's graduation, and we will have several high school students that will graduate next week with their AA degree from Lake Sumter State College. And so I would like to offer a huge shout out to those students. I know I don't get the opportunity to go to every graduation, but they'll be recognized at the individual ceremonies, and they will be graduating a couple of weeks before high school with their AA degree from Lake Sumter State next week. So those celebrations will be taking place in Claremont and Leesburg, and so tis the season. So thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Cunningham?
I would like to offer congratulations and best wishes to Miss Kathy Smith. Mrs. Smith is going to retire, but she has a long history with Lake County. I remember her start at Eustis Elementary, and I also remember her distinguished days teaching the gifted program at Carver Middle, where she had some of the highest test scores in Lake County for many years, and she gave a great contribution and a helping hand to Carver achieving some A's back in the day when our writing scores were the one thing that could push us over. So on behalf of all those students that you taught, and on behalf of all those good things you were able to accomplish for Lake County, we certainly want you to know that we appreciate you, we value your service, and these last few years where you've served so well with the union, we'd like to thank you for that as well and just wish you well, and hope that you make many memories in the land of retirement. I'd also like to wish Happy Teacher Appreciation Week to all teachers, and especially to our media specialists. Those are some of the hardest working people in our schools with little recognition, so certainly it is very befitting that you be recognized now and that you receive some recognition for the wonderfulness that you do. And that's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Cunningham. Mr. Dodd?
Well, that was a much more eloquent, happy retirement message than I could have ever put together. You know, I've enjoyed our time together as well, and so ditto to what she said on that. You know, as we approach Teacher Appreciation Week, you know, one of the things that I always like to try to reflect on and think about are some of those things that teachers do that are above and beyond that most people just kind of take for granted. You know, they just assume, oh yeah, of course the teacher's going to do that, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. You know, and there's so many things that go beyond just the job description of the teachers. This past week I had a chance to attend a math bee at Cypress Ridge, which was pretty exciting. It was their first fourth grade math bee they had in the school, and my kid was particularly excited because he's not a great speller, right? So spelling bees are not going to be his thing, but math is his thing, and he was just so thrilled to be able to participate. And that's an example of one of those things that just goes above and beyond. Nobody is required to put on a math bee for their kids, and they could just say, well, we already have the STEM Bowl. Why do we need a math bee? But it was just another great opportunity for kids to get involved and to be able to showcase their strengths. And so anyway, I'm thankful for things like that where the teachers just go above and beyond, something pretty exciting. So thanks to all the teachers out there.
Mr. Mathias?
I also want to recognize Kathy Smith. Kathy, you brought a breath of fresh air when you took leadership. And there's a time when, especially when you're across the table from each other, that you trust the person that's across the table. And you brought absolute integrity to your role. So best of luck to you in retirement. And by the way, union is not a four-letter word, and I hope that the vote goes well for you because that bargaining component and union should hold their people accountable. That's the policing force, and you've done an outstanding job at that. So I hope it goes well for you. Next thing, can anybody believe it's May and we have graduations coming up? It's going to be May. Okay, I was duly corrected. On Wednesday it'll be May. Anyway, so starting off is Lake Hills. I have to tell you that when I was first elected, that school is truly the diamond in the rough for Lake County. It sets the standard for everything else that we do, and the passion and the commitment of the teachers and the administrator that goes beyond reproach. And if it's okay with you, Mrs. Cunningham, I haven't missed a graduation, so I'd like to be there.
We look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you. And then off we go to the races for the rest of our schools. So that's all I have.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I forgot something.
You may, go right
Sorry.
ahead.
I can't be remiss and not congratulate the new Vice President of the Union. I don't want to overlook her. She and I go back for many years, and you're a long way from third grade classroom at Beverly Shores, so congratulations to you. Thank you, sir.
And can I sit down? And I didn't know you, so sorry.
Well, as a former Carver Middle School student when Ms. Smith was there, ditto all those comments. Kathy, I've enjoyed working with you. You have certainly left the union better than you found it, and looking forward to the continued partnership moving forward. So congratulations on a well-deserved retirement. Last week, had the opportunity to attend, I think it's the 8th home dedication for Leesburg High School's Construction Academy at the high school. So I want to give a shout out to Marta and her team that continue to do a fantastic job growing and celebrating those CTE programs and getting those kids involved in worthwhile projects that will lead to high demand, high wage jobs in the future that we so desperately need. Also want to give a shout out to Church of the Lakes that did their annual campus cleanup at Leesburg High School the Saturday prior to Easter. This year they did it a little different, had I think 8 sports and clubs teams involved in different projects with cash prizes awarded to those that did the best work and the most work, and they all ended up with a cash prize. But LHS continues to look amazing and due large part to Chad and his team as well for their efforts, but the church continues to be such a good partner for us. Wanted to recognize them as well. And other than that, I have to give a shout out to Joseph Mabry. He was the Superman at the office today, fixing a flat tire and getting a car out of the rain for one of our staff members as she was trying to head home. So Joseph, your work never goes unnoticed. Thank you for all you continue to do. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Congratulations to our media specialists. If there are no other comments this evening, did anybody miss anything? Any objection to adjourning? No, sir. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.